Welcome to Hebrew Words in Scripture. This is lesson 62, and let's look at the sons of Jacob, Gad, and Asher. And so as we enter the scriptures in Genesis 30, verse 9, Jacob has 3 wives and 6 sons. He has Leah and Rachel and Bilhah, Rachel's handmaid, and we see here that when Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her Jacob to wife. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. And verse 11, and Leah said, a troop cometh, and she called his name Gad. So if we look for these words in the concordance, we see that Gad has the Hebrew 1410, but looking right up at the word troop, it has the Hebrew word 1409. Here, Gad, Gimel, Dalet, is pronounced as God, or God, Gad. We say Gad in English, and it means a troop, or the definition given is a troop. And we see the definition for Gad comes from 1464. Hold on to that thought. We'll look at that again in a moment. Looking for the word troop, H1409, the word given is Gimel Dalet. It's the same word, Gad, or in English, or God in Hebrew. Here, though, the definition is fortune or good fortune. Notice it comes from the same origin of H1464. And again, the meaning is, in this sense, a sense of distributing of a fortune or troop. Going to 1464, we see Gimel, Vav, Dalet, or good or good. Definition is to invade or attack, and it comes from another primitive root, H1413. If we look down at the Strong's definition, it says it is similar to H1413. It means to crowd upon, that is, attack or invade or overcome. Going to H1413, Gimel, Dalet, Dalet, Gadad, we see this means to penetrate, to cut, to attack, invade, to penetrate, to cut into, to cut oneself. And here again we see to gather in troops or crowds. We see H1413 reflects back to H1464. Look down at the primitive root. The Strong's definition says a crowd, also to gash, as if by pressing into, to assemble, to gather the self in troops, to cut selves. It's difficult to justify the multiple definitions of this word, Gad. We have the good fortune, we have cutting, troops, crowding, or crowds. And unless it's possible that it's talking about, it even talks about distribution, unless it's talking about the possibility of distributing the spoils of a battle. There's more than one occasion in the Old Testament where it talks about the enemy retreating and fighting itself, cutting itself. Let's take a quick side trip to the book of Revelation, which was written in Greek. And the book of Revelation, chapter 16, in verse 15, it says, he gathered them together in a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. Notice that they're being gathered together. That's a crowd. We pronounce Armageddon with an A. The Greeks pronounce it with an H. They would say, actually, Harmageddon. When a word starts with a vowel, the spoken Greek language starts with a H sound. Greek artifacts would be called Hellenistic but it would be spelled Hellenistic. And likewise, Armageddon would be pronounced Harmageddon in Greek. See the Greek word Armageddon, the Greek letters would be Armageddon, and we would say Armageddon in English. This is defined as a hill or city of Megiddo. It says in Revelation, a place of great slaughter. The RSV translates the name as Harmageddon, that is, the hill, and not the city of Megiddo. It says this is of Hebrew origin, of H2022, which means Har or mountain, and H4023, which means Megiddo. Here we see Megiddon, Mem, Gimel, Dalet, Vav, Nun, or Megiddo, and Mem, Gimel, Dalet, Vav. And notice the Gimel, Dalet, the GD, or Gad, right in the middle of this word. And it is a place of crowds. And going back to H1413, it means to attack, to cut, to penetrate. It's a gathering together. And we miss all these meanings without knowing and understanding the origin of the word Megiddo from Gad. Let's continue with the story of Zilpah's second son. Leah said, "Happy am I." She called his name Asher. We see here the word happy as 837 and the word Asher as 836. H837 is Aleph, Shin, Resh, Asher. Its origin is H833 and its definition is happiness. I don't like that word. And we see for H836, Aleph, Shin, Resh, the same spelling. The definition is happy, and its origin is the same, H833. H833 has the same spelling. The definition is to go straight, to walk, to go on, to advance, to make progress, to go straight on, to make progress, to go straight, to advance, to lead on, to set right, to write and to pronounce happy, to be blessed. I think we diminish it by just calling it happy. There's so much more to this word than just to be happy. And we see the meaning of the primitive root is to be straight in its widest sense, especially to be level, to be right. Here's that word happy again. Figuratively, to go forward, to be honest, to prosper. I think when you asher, that is, walk the straight path, walk the right path, you will be happy.